All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the Will and Russ Sports Podcast. Once again, we back again, and I'm Russ.
And I'm Will Stradamus, aka Will Stradamus.
And you already know my AKA. I'm the Prophet. So
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
you remember, huh? All right.
Yeah,
So yeah, welcome back, guys. We're gonna, you know, shoot up another episode. This is episode 5, I believe. And what we gonna touch on today?
no, Russ, I believe it's 6, bro.
This
We
is
did 5.
6.
Yeah, this is 6, baby.
Oh, wow, I'm losing count
Oh,
already. That's not good. It's too early to lose count. But
yeah.
okay. Wow,
And once you,
episode 6. And it's going fast, but it's fun. It's
yeah,
good though.
that- yeah. I mean, we're just basically gonna, we're gonna take our time. Well, not take our time, but like we took our time last episode. But we're gonna, we're
Yeah.
gonna bang out some of these topics, man. First, we're gonna start with Antonio Brown and his
Yeah.
issue. So, I mean,
Yeah, so what's going on with Antonio Brown, man? What is this stuff with the helmet? I've seen all these crazy memes where they got him in like leather helmets and stuff, all
yeah.
kinds of crazy stuff. But I'm like, what is really going on with the helmet issue? Like, what's the deal?
Well, apparently, for the better part of his 10-year career, he's been using, you know, when he was in Pittsburgh, he's been using the same helmet for basically 8, 9, 10 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and when he went to Oakland, um, you know, you, the NFL just basically, told him, man, he can't use his helmet no more because it's out. I believe there's a certain amount of
Oh, you,
a
you,
time
yes,
on
there is because they
that
do it even on the little levels, like
that
the youth sports, high school. They have
right.
to refurb. You gotta regenerate them, get new ones every certain
Oh
amount of years.
yeah, you gotta get them up the code.
Yes, yes,
And
exactly.
and
So yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense.
So the NFL has their code standards, and you have to meet it. And Antonio Brown refused to do it, all the way to the point of him saying, "You know what? If I can't wear this type of helmet that I've been wearing all my career, I'm going to go ahead and quit playing football."
Yeah,
So,
I just think that's ridiculous, man. That's
hey,
just
bro,
ridiculous.
when we talking about? All right,
You
I
you
think it was a second or third podcast episode when we discussing Antonio Brown
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
and here he is basically co-signing what we talked
What we
about
talked
him.
about, yeah,
I mean, again, Russ, the boy is superbly talented.
absolutely.
I mean, the route running, the hands, the quickness, the speed. He has it all, man. But God, he is an unbelievable headache, bro.
Like, I mean, I know wide receivers are divas,
Yeah, but
and,
I mean,
but this is beyond, I mean, this is going way too far. Like, I know Jerry Rice. They always talk about how he had to have everything perfect,
right,
before he, it's his equipment. Then he would try it on and then take stuff off as he did all kinds of stuff. But he never was gonna stop playing. You know
right,
what I mean? It's like
right.
those are just
Jerry
those are
Rice
just
never
prefer.
said,
Yeah, those are just preferences. But he wasn't gonna like be like, I'm staying in the locker room unless this is,
right,
he was gonna go play the game. So those are
right,
just preferences, and to in life you gotta you can't major in minors. You know what I
right,
mean? And to me, that's what he's doing. He's majoring in minors right now. Like, that's not what you want to pick make your protest on. There's other things you can fight for and battle for, but not that. You know what I mean? It's like, it makes sense. It's not like they're trying to mess with you.
right.
It's safety.
The issue,
Yeah,
you
it's a
know.
safety issue. And if something happens to you wearing that old helmet, you know what I mean? It's like, come on.
And look, Russ, here's what's gonna happen. This is what put it this way. This is what the NFL is looking at it like. They're saying, okay. this whole concussion issue has been ongoing for years now.
And it's
What we're
yeah, it's
trying,
major.
right? What we're trying to do is minimize all or every concussion. So we're going to have technological advances in our helmet inventions, and we're going to have basically time limits on them, where how long you can wear them, and
Yeah,
then what the designs are going to be. Hell, listen, Russ, Tom Brady, same situation. Tom Brady's been wearing his helmet since the third Super Bowl, right?
right.
His got changed this year. Tom said, "Hey man, I don't like it. You know what? It is what it is. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk about it. I'm just gonna
That's what I'm saying. It's not something to, I'm sure. I'm not saying he should be happy about it, but yeah, I mean, you don't cry. You can't make it where I'm gonna make a protest out of this. That's what I said. It's like he's majoring in minors. That's something that's minor.
right,
You know what
very
I mean?
minor,
That's something that's minor.
very minor, and he blew it. He's blown this whole thing out of proportion, and
Way out of proportion.
he even filed a grievance with the National Football League about this whole issue,
Yeah,
and
that's ridiculous.
yeah, and he lost the grievance. He still basically has to show up and wear his old hell, his the
The
new
new
helmet
helmet.
that they issued him. Um, but just today, Russ, I saw over there on the bottom line on ESPN that he was he was trying to modify the helmet in a way that it can pass code. It can pass the code violations. Like he's basically he's almost going to the point of I guess reconstructing his helmet.
Like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, what happened in the last 2 seasons? Because I mean, wow, what is he
I,
doing?
I don't know, bro. I respect him as a player, but man,
Absolutely.
Antonio's making he's making himself look bad right now, Russ.
Like I said,
Seriously.
I usually defend the guy because I have a
Yeah,
lot of respect for him
yeah.
as a football player, as a wide receiver.
Uh,
But
Work ethic is sick too. He's
yeah,
a
work
great.
ethic exactly. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Will I can't defend him no more.
He's,
Like I can't
he's
defend that.
basically taking his ball and going home. That's what he said.
Right, right.
I mean, this is unbelievable, bro. This is
Yeah,
unbelievable, bro.
yeah. I can't fathom.
So now, look though. At the end of the day, guess what? He still has to report back to camp, back to the team, and he's still gonna have to play with the helmet that they issued for him.
Because
So
eventually they're gonna start finding him.
exactly, exactly, exactly. So, but then again, Antonio Brown, he's the one that said, a few months back in
He's
an
about to
interview, I don't know.
retire.
Yeah, he said he's going to retire because he doesn't need the NFL, and he wants to play football. He doesn't need to play football. And hey, I respect you, Antonio, but I'll tell you what, man, $30 million you're leaving on the table if you do retire,
Right.
man.
I
That's
mean,
that's
maybe he's made great investments. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, he must be really really good with his money, because you're leaving
Right.
$30 million on the table like that. I'm sorry, that's man, wow. So that's my feeling on that. I think all that stuff was unnecessary. All this drama with him was unnecessary, and he just basically embarrassed himself, Russ. Honestly,
Right.
that was
Right.
embarrassing. It really was. It was completely embarrassing. You just embarrassed yourself. You basically look like a petulant child. Okay.
Right. I mean, and what was happening before the helmet thing? It was with his feet,
Yeah.
frostbitten feet.
hmm
I mean, what?
So what happened with that, Russ? Not to cut you off. What happened with that?
No, go ahead.
He, he went in this cryotherapy chamber thing that it's like going like putting your whole body in nitrogen fluid,
Right.
but it's actually not fluid. It's vapor or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
extremely cold, right? So there's certain things you have to wear when you get in it, like certain types of shoes. You know what I'm saying? And certain types
Right.
of attire. So he goes in there with no shoes on,
Oh my goodness.
and his feet gets frostbitten. And this, and he puts it on social media. He puts it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. He posts the way his feet got frostbitten and looked like he stepped. To me, honestly, it looked like he stepped in acid. But but the way his feet look, I mean, it looked a little. It was like underneath his feet has gangrene. That's how it looked. It looked
Oh
terrible.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Antonio just flat out just embarrassed himself over the last few weeks here, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the kid. He's a great player, great work ethic, but some of his personality, some portions of his personality is very, very strange. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So
And it's like
that
it's fine. I mean, you could have the strangest personality and whatever like that, but once it starts affecting the office, which is the football field or the team,
mm,
that's the problem. There's a lot of you got 53-man rosters. There's a lot of weird guys that play football. There's a lot of different. Everybody's different personalities trying to
right,
come together and mesh. So fine, if you're just out there a little bit, okay, but you got to handle your business. You know what I mean? You got to handle your business. You just begged your way out of Pittsburgh,
right, pretty much.
and now you're coming here, and all you're doing is, I mean, Roethlisberger and the Steelers are probably sitting there like, "Hey, we told you so."
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because you're making their argument for them.
exactly,
They don't
exactly.
even have to mention you or talk about you. You're making their argument. Well, I see why they let him go.
Yep,
You know what I
perfect,
mean?
perfect, exactly. The perfect that. I mean, just like you said, he's sort of stamping why the Pittsburgh Steelers were like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and cut our losses with
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
You know
Let's
what I'm
part
saying?
ways.
I mean, hey, look at the guy. Look what he's doing. It's similar to To. To was
Wow, I don't. I mean, I hope he doesn't get as bad as T.O. I hope he does not get as bad as T.O. Now, I
Russ.
don't want to put that on him yet.
He almost was I mean, but he was throwing Ben Roethlisberger under the bus. I mean, okay. I'll give him the benefit of that. He's not as bad as To because To
Yet,
was,
yet.
yeah, yeah. He's not as
If
bad as
he,
To yet.
yeah, but he's getting there. He's headed in that direction,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's
I mean,
not where you want to
To
travel.
was To was legendary in his locker room cancer acts.
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah,
he was he was notorious for wrecking locker rooms.
yeah. Everywhere he went.
Right. You know, yeah, it's truly amazing, man. But I mean, that's my thoughts on that guy. I like him. I think he's a great player. He's probably a future Hall of Famer, but man, some portions of his personality is just
I mean, yeah, definitely. It's crazy.
yeah,
and,
exactly.
and you say he's a future Hall of Famer. I think he should be, but these days being in the Hall of Fame is not even. I mean, T.O. got in, so it's like, and I know people will say, "Well, what do you mean T.O. has this many numbers?" I mean, I don't care what numbers he had.
Right,
I watched him play.
right,
How are you a Hall of Famer when you destroy teams
right,
everywhere you go? I mean,
right.
come on. Who's not a Hall of numbers? Did not. You know what? Maybe that's something we could talk about a little bit later about this
Yeah,
analytical time that we live in. Everything
right.
is
The
and
number.
everything the numbers guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
We kind of I mentioned something about it yesterday too, or the day before the other episode, maybe before that or something about the whole numbers. I think no, when we were discussing LeBron,
yeah, yeah.
I mentioned stuff about the nerds that they've taken over sports, and it started with fantasy football, which I play myself.
Mm.
But long before fantasy football, I was a football fan, a sports fan, and I watch it. People don't watch the actual games anymore. Whether it's football,
Oh, no.
basketball, um, they just look at the highlights or the stats.
They look at the like you said, they look at highlights and then they look at the numbers. But they
Yeah,
don't see that's why you have to see and Russ, every football fan that I get into a debate with or argument with, I always tell them, I ask them, I say, do you watch the games? No, I ain't got to watch the game. You could just see it. You could look at the highlights. I'm like, wait a minute. If you don't watch from snap to snap, and
right.
if then I don't want to talk to you
You
because you're
really
not watching
can't get the impact of how those players impacted that game.
exactly,
You can't
exactly,
feel. You got to be able to watch it and see, and then you know what a Hall of Fame player is, because
exactly.
what they do in between the lines. It's not about numbers, man. It just isn't. But
Not number. You know how you ever heard the phrase "numbers never lie"? That's the
yeah,
most farciest
that's a
in the
yeah,
world.
and I
Numbers
mean,
lie.
yeah, exactly. Numbers do lie, big time,
Yep.
because numbers can't tell the whole story. They can't even tell half the story. And
Exactly.
I know Floyd Mayweather. He uses that line a lot. Like numbers don't lie.
Right.
But I disagree because Floyd doesn't even need to use that to to
He really doesn't.
to to dictate his greatness. His greatness is not defined by his record being 50-0. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? And it's defined by his skill set.
His skill set. Exactly.
How he could break down fighters,
Yep.
good fighters, great fighters,
Great
and
fighter.
make them look like
Average.
average fighters. You
Yep.
know what I mean? To make a professional guy
Right
miss
in front of you.
punches right in front of you. These guys are accurate punchers too. Like when they fight other people, they're landing shots.
That's right.
This guy can stand in front of you and make you miss and beat you mentally.
Yep.
That's
Mental.
what makes this guy great. He
Yep.
before he even entered his or fought his first professional fight, he went to the Olympics, where he got robbed. One of the biggest robberies. They robbed Roy Jones too at the Olympics too, but
That's right.
but it was a huge robbery that happened when he went to the Olympics, and people knew then he was gonna be great because you could see the skill set because you watched him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He didn't have a 50-0 record at the time. He was 0-0 at that time. He
Yep.
just had an amateur background in the Olympics. So I
Yep.
mean, the guy was great before that, and he went on and proved himself, fight in and fight out. And it's not about the record that makes him great. It's the skill set. It's the skill set that he had, that he brought to the table, what he did in fights.
Exactly.
Watching the fights, not the CompuBox punch stats.
Right.
That's not it. Those don't tell you to fight. That doesn't tell you. But that's what a lot of these guys use today
Oh
to
yeah.
figure out who they think won. Well, the company box says that he landed. It's like, look, man, I watched the fight. I saw the fight. So I don't
Yep.
know what copy box was saying. I saw the fight.
Right.
You know. So
Exactly.
yeah, and it's the same thing with other sports.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm glad you brought up boxing a little bit because that's another episode we got to crack on because
Yes.
there are some good matches coming up later on this year, man.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
next month it should be a pretty big one coming up between Errol Spence and
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
we definitely got to touch on some of those boxing matches.
Oh,
That are
no
coming,
doubt.
you
No
know what I mean?
doubt.
Yeah, but back to but yeah, Russ, man, I agree with you 100%. To was, I mean, this guy was a absolute just
Team obliterator.
yeah.
To
Team
you
of
know.
Flitter. I forgot about that. I heard somebody say team obliterator. I like that one. No, but it's so true though, man. I mean that guy, he didn't care. Russ, he was the first receiver. I mean, we've had diva receivers, and
Yeah,
people,
yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Michael Irvin,
yeah,
Carter, Moss, they will call them divas. But listen, T.O. he 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 went beyond diva. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
He went beyond diva. It was the man used to put. I remember he called Jeff Garcia gay or faggot or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He questioned his sexuality.
Sexuality.
I remember that. Yeah,
He was fighting on the sideline with Don. I mean, we can go on and
yeah,
on with that guy, man. But
yeah.
you know, anyway, To is known as Tino. team obliterator is.
And it serves the Hall of Fame and the NFL right for making the mistake of putting him into the Hall of Fame,
I
and
agree, man.
he did what he does.
I agree. I
You know,
completely agree.
didn't even show up to the event. That's what y'all get for putting this guy in it. There you go with your numbers.
Right, right,
Guy's not a
exactly.
Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
Period.
And oh my God, I'm glad you brought that up. That's what I wanted to get your take on too. Um, this guy, he finally made it to the Hall of Fame, and he felt that he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Should
and he
have been a
was,
yeah, yeah.
and he
You shouldn't
wasn't.
even been in there. You should not even be in there.
Right. And look, Russ, this fool didn't even show up to the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Right, exactly. That's why I said it serves them right for putting him in there.
Yeah, and he embarrassed them. He embarrassed the hell out of the National Football League.
Like he's
Huh?
always done with every other team he's been on.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe that, man. I couldn't believe that. This guy said, you know what? I'm gonna have my own Hall of Fame. I mean,
Right.
how's
But that is so fitting. That was perfect for him.
narcissistic is
That
that?
that that's him. You're playing the ultimate team sport.
Right.
I just said it's a 53-man roster. You know what I mean? There's 11 guys on the field that you have to coordinate with on every play to run
Hmm.
a play to make it work right. Everybody
Hmm.
has to do their job. It's a unit. It's a team. It's the ultimate team sport. And you're trying to turn it into an individual thing.
Right.
But
Right.
you're a Hall of Famer somehow.
Russ,
Oh,
he's
that's
been
right, because he has numbers.
right.
I know
He
analytical Andy out there is going crazy right now with his
analytical.
calculator.
I like that one too. Analytical, and then you just got him. You got him coming tonight, bro. Damn. Analytical and team obliterator. No, but I completely hear you. I understand what you mean, man. I mean, you know, T.O. has been a selfish player ever since he stepped foot in the league, bro.
Yeah,
Ever since, you know, when he got to San Francisco and Jerry Rice his career was winding down.
right.
T.O. never gave a damn about Jerry Rice at all.
No, he didn't.
Huh? He wanted to be the man. Oh yeah, I'm T.O. I'm doing that. I got 20 catches in one game and that. Man, whatever.
Right.
So, but yeah, for the record, I agree with you. I don't think T.O. should have been a Hall of Famer. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
I don't see him as a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
And he's
Only
got
thing
the
they
numbers,
the only
but
argument they can make is like I
the
said,
number.
the numbers. That's it.
Mm,
But those are not doesn't mean anything.
right.
Doesn't mean anything.
I agree. Numbers don't tell the whole story.
No.
Period. You know.
Let me ask
So
you something. How many catches did Chris Carter have in his career?
how many catch? I think it was like had to be over 1,000, right? At least over 1,000.
You don't know the exact number?
I don't know exactly, but
What about how many yards did he have in his career?
I think that 1,300 yards. I mean 13,000 yards or something like that.
But you don't know the exact number.
No, I don't know the exact number.
How many touchdowns did he have in his career?
I don't know the exact number, but I want to say 130 or one.
See, this is my point right there.
Hmm,
I know you're a Vikings fan,
right,
and I know you're a Chris Carter fan,
right, right.
right?
Hmm.
But you don't know his exact numbers, but you could tell me about Chris Carter and why you feel he's a Hall of Famer.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I
you
hear you.
don't we don't run around. I don't know Michael Irvin. I don't remember how many catches. I could probably get like how you were like guessing around, figure I think he had this many. And I think Mike had like 90 something touchdowns in his career, I think.
Right.
I don't know that. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you how many yards Emmett Smith had in his career. I know
Mm,
he passed Walter, he broke Walter Payton's record and everything, but I don't know the exact number. But it
right.
doesn't matter
It
because
does.
I watched Emmett Smith in a shoulder game when he
Yeah.
dislocated his
I,
shoulder against the Giants when the winner wins the division and goes on to the playoffs. We
yep,
have to
yep,
have this game, and he stayed in the game with a dislocated shoulder and led us not just running the ball, but catching, blocking for the quarterback, picking up blitzes, like all of those. That's Hall of Fame play.
right,
No,
right.
no numbers, not the numbers. Emmett is a Hall of Famer not because he broke Walter Payton's record. It's because of all those 3rd-and-1s I watch him get.
Mm-hmm.
All those, you know what I mean? Like that's Chris Carter is a Hall of Famer because of, you know what? I can't give you his numbers either, but I know he's a Hall of Famer because I watched this guy on 3rd down constantly make catches to keep the chains alive,
Clutch
keep the
catches.
chains moving,
Catches.
clutch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Yeah.
what makes you a Hall of Famer, not the numbers.
The numbers. I agree. hundred
I, I,
percent.
I know Michael Irvin's a Hall of Famer because I watched him on 3rd down
Yep.
run the slant over and over again, and they know it's coming and they can't stop it.
Exactly.
Making big plays in big moments. Jerry Rice, same way. I don't know all of his records. I know he holds a bunch of them,
Yep.
but I know he's a Hall of Famer.
Exactly, man.
Tom Brady, Joe Montana. I mean, we could go on and on and on.
Yep.
I watch those guys play. They're Hall of Famers. Sorry, T.O. just isn't. To me, he's not a Hall of Famer,
He's
in my
really
opinion.
not.
Nah.
He's really not.
Because the only argument they have is numbers, and then they try to be, oh well, he came back and played in the Super Bowl with the Eagles. The Eagles went to the Super Bowl without him. That's what
Yeah.
people
Right.
forget. They made it to the
Right.
Super. First of all, before he got there, they were going to the NFC Championship game every year.
Right. That's right.
They made it
That's
to the
right.
Super Bowl without him,
Without him,
and
they
when
made
they
it
and
to
they, yeah,
Freddie Mitchell. Put it that way.
yeah,
Okay. Freddie Mitchell
Freddie
was the
Mitchell,
#1 receiver on that team when T.O. got hurt for those 2 games in NFC title. I believe it was the divisional game and then the title game.
yeah, yeah.
And then they made it to the Super Bowl, and then that's when T.O. came back.
He comes back, yeah, and plays. And the thing is, when the game was on the line, where was he in the Super Bowl?
Right.
What did he do? His stuff was early in the game, like in the first quarter. He did the little slant across the middle. He had a few catches there, but after that, he was non-existent. Donovan McNabb had a better game than him.
Right. Yep.
If it wasn't for a guy named Thomas Brady, Donovan McNabb would have been the Eagles would have won that Super Bowl, and Donovan McNabb would have been the MVP, not T.O.
That's right. That's right. I
you
mean,
know,
yeah, man. It's yeah. It's yeah. I'm done with T.O., man. As far as
yeah, yeah.
you can't convince me that this guy, is one of the true all-time great receivers. Let me tell you something.
No.
I'm taking Larry Fitzgerald any day of the week over
Any
T.O.
day. I'll take Hines Ward over T.O.
Right.
People go
Right.
crazy when I say that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I would take Hines Ward 8 days out of the week
Yep.
over T.O.
Yep. Yep. Dog. We concur on this because I completely agree. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not a T.O. hater, but I'm a real
No.
T.O.
No. Yeah. It's just real. Like, I mean, the guy T.O. It's not like he didn't have talent, but I think he didn't maximize his talent in my opinion.
He didn't. I mean, T.O. has some of the so for a so-called great receiver, so-called, he has some of the worst hands.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
he would drop a lot of balls in
Yeah.
clutch moments too.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
His
Give me
big
a
his
break.
biggest catch came after a game full of drops.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That catch where it's like Steve Young went back to him and he got
Yeah.
sandwiched in the end zone. Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah. That was his yeah, you're right.
That was his biggest catch of his career. Serious? I mean, give me another one. Like
I,
that was his big. That
I
was his
can't.
biggest
I can't.
catch. Right.
I
I don't know.
can't.
Maybe analytical Andy will tap in. You know, one day we'll take calls and analytical Andy will call us.
Analytical end.
He'll be tapping away at his calculator trying to tell us why he's the greatest.
Oh shit. Analytical end. And was it team obliterated
Team
T.O.?
obliterated. Yeah, but all right. I mean,
Yeah, let's move on from T.O.
I digress.
Yeah, exactly. We both digress.
Right, off of To.
So, so anyway, man, these preseason games we saw last weekend.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on some of them? Some of the guys that you and I mentioned in our rookie predictions, and even some of the guys that
We
got drafted
didn't.
early on.
Just let's. I mean, I want to start with the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Because during the draft, I know we hadn't started the show yet at that time,
Mhm.
but when everybody picked on Daniel Jones, the
Right.
pick that the Giants made, and felt that they should have gotten Haskins, and they thought the Redskins had made a better decision by getting Haskins. I was one that didn't at that time.
Right.
I didn't, because when I really watched the film of Daniel Jones, I thought that he was a better quarterback than Haskins.
Right.
I really did, and reason being is because I think he reminded me, like I think I mentioned it before. He reminded me of Alex Smith, his
Hmm.
style of play. He's kind of mobile like Alex Smith, and he makes good decisions. He's not going to lose the game for you.
Right.
And I mean, I know we didn't see much from Haskins, and I think Haskins is more talented,
Mm.
athletically talented. Probably has a stronger arm, but I think the Ohio State offense you know, is tailor made and a lot of college offenses are like that, where you get to throw to a lot of wide open guys.
Right.
It's tailor made because of the style of play. Like, they run the ball well. The quarterbacks usually run the ball, so a lot of times you do get some open guys. It's kind of like what the read option did for what's his name, RG3, his rookie
Right.
season. You
Right.
know, it helped to get guys open,
Yeah.
wide open, and then you could throw it. But in the NFL, to be quarterback, you got to learn how to throw through windows.
Right.
You got to be able to throw through
That's
windows,
exactly.
and read the defense, and that's what RG3 couldn't do. And I wonder about Haskins. I'm not saying that he's RG3 at all, but
Mm.
I just wonder, and I want to see. It's interesting. I hope him. I hope he can. Even though he's with the Redskins, but I hope that he does get it together. I
Mm.
just don't know if he will. But I like this kid Daniel Jones, and he showed out. And now the thing that kills me, Will, is that the media spent like weeks bashing the Giants
I do remember that. I do remember.
over this
I
pick,
mean, crushing them.
crushing them.
Hmm.
And now we watch this kid on like two or three drives in
Right.
the first preseason game, and now all of them are talking about quarterback controversy in New York.
Controversy. Right.
The same guys that said this kid can't play.
Yep.
But
That's right.
it only took three drives, or 2-3 drives, for them to change their mind. Like, the media is crazy. It's ridiculous.
It's completely ridiculous. I mean, you know, Russ, I'm with you on that, on the Daniel Jones. I didn't see. I'm be honest with you. I didn't really see a lot of game film on him, but
Hmm.
of some of the games I did see, I thought he was going to be an underrated quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
coming
exactly.
coming out of college. I think he has a tremendous upside. You know what I mean? He
I agree.
believe it or not, the kid can actually move, Russ. He can
That's
move around. He's athletic.
that's why I
He can
said he
run.
reminds me of Alex Smith. That's when I
Right,
watched him, I was like, this kid reminds me of Alex Smith, how he plays.
right,
He
and
looks like Eli, but he plays like Alex Smith.
right, exactly. And he's an underrated quarterback, and I think man, I think the Giants. I think the Giants might have gotten a steal, man.
I think
I
they
know
got a
he got
steal.
drafted sixth. I know,
Yeah.
being a sixth round for sixth overall pick is probably not a steal, but based on what the analytical Andes were saying,
There you go. Analytical Andy.
then based on what analytical Andes was saying, they
Right.
were saying, "Oh man, this guy can't play. He can't throw. He can't,
Right.
he defense." But the Giants, they did their own analytics and their own research and their own film
Exactly.
watch.
Right.
And I think they came up with a gem, bro.
I
I
think they
do.
did too. That I think it's a steal. It is. You
Absolutely.
know.
So yeah, Daniel Jones is definitely um now for Dwayne Haskins, it's too bad, honestly, Russ, it's too bad he went to the Redskins, to be honest with you. Because
I have to agree with you there.
it's the Redskins, man, I don't even know where to begin with the Redskins, because it seems like the Redskins, whenever they draft somebody that high, or draft somebody who with all that billing, they always seem to fall flat on their face, you know.
Yes.
And I feel sorry for Dwayne Haskins, because that could be it for him. That could be
Yeah.
one of those deals. Like, man, he came in, he had all this billing, and for some
Right.
reason he just couldn't hack it in Washington D.C. So I
Right.
don't know. I hope I'm wrong, like you, but
Yeah.
and Russ, I'm a Buckeye fan, so
Oh
I want
yeah.
to succeed, but at the same time, I gotta keep it real. I mean, let's be honest. He looked terrible in that preseason game. I know it's just preseason,
Yeah, he did.
but he made some bad throws in that game, bro.
Right. And some people would talk about they want him to start, and I'm like, not those
Right.
that early schedule for the Redskins is tough, and
It
don't
is
throw that
very
kid to the wolves like that.
right.
It won't
Yeah,
be good.
remember I was telling you that. Don't do that, because you'll ruin him. You'll
Yeah.
completely ruin him.
Yeah.
That kid, he'll be. Remember, put this with Russ. Remember Patrick Ramsey, right?
Yes.
For the Redskins, they drafted him high. I thought Patrick Ramsey would have had a chance if they didn't get him beat up so much. I mean, they
Right.
shook his confidence to the point that he literally couldn't play football. You
Right.
know, so I think Dwayne Haskins, if they put that kid in that early on in that early schedule during the season, they're gonna
Right.
ruin him. Bro. They're gonna ruin him. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Oh,
think they will though. I think they've already. Case Keenum was going to be the starter, but yeah, I mean, he's not ready for that.
no, he's not. No, he's
Not
not.
yet. He
Mm-mm.
could be after a while, but he's got to learn.
Yeah, he's not
I,
ready. Not at
I
all.
wouldn't. Yeah.
Not at all. You need to sit him and let him look at the game from a sideline perspective. Look at the speed of the game. Look at the way teams run their defenses. Look at
Right.
look at
Learn
the
the system.
just learn the system. You know what I mean? Then pick some of those guys' brains and learn like that. Don't just. I know most people would tell you, well, the only way you learn is you play. I mean, that's not
Not
all
in
the time.
all yeah,
Not
not in all
yeah,
situations. It's not cookie cutter.
exactly. It's not you can't just every situation is different. I mean,
Right.
you can't like all right, when Tom Brady came into the league, he was thrust into the starting lineup because Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Right.
So Brady had to like learn on the fly. You
Like
know what I'm saying?
Dak Prescott's also another one.
Yeah, exactly.
When
Dak is
Romo
another
got
one.
hurt, he wasn't supposed to be starting.
Right, right. Dak was another one. So and that's
Not
you know,
trying to compare Dak Prescott with Brady, but I'm just saying the same situation. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's the same situation.
Yeah.
Same situation. The starting quarterback got hurt. Nobody expected the backup to start to play that whole season, but next thing you know, boom, he gets hurt. And
Right.
that's the only guy you had backing him up. So
Right.
he had to play.
He's got to
You know what
go.
I mean?
Yeah, he's got to get out there.
And that's the and just fortunately, those guys had enough, you know, intestinal fortitude and guts and mental toughness to persevere through so through the hard times and the good times of the season. You
Right, and
know,
also a good team around him too.
right,
You know,
exactly.
they had good, you know, a good team that they could lean on because that Patriots team was already good, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Cowboys team was a little bit better than what. In fact, I mean they were supposed to be contenders. So
that's true.
yeah,
But
and
I
they
mean,
were that year. I mean they were that year too.
word,
So yeah,
absolutely.
that helps to have to come in for a quarterback to come into a team that has kind of like Ben Roethlisberger as well. When he came in and played as a rookie, he had a good team around him, and it helped because Ben wasn't ready that year either. He was not the Ben that we know. You know,
Right. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And
but
and
he's
and
gotten better.
honestly, that the same thing happened to Teddy Bridgewater. Remember, Matt
Yes,
Castle got hurt in the third game of the season. It was against the Saints. I'll never forget this. Teddy
right,
Bridgewater was the backup quarterback. He got thrusted in the game. We lost the game, but we left that game feeling good about ourselves, saying, we might
right.
have something here.
Might have
And then
found
next thing
something.
right. And next thing you know, Teddy Bridgewater succeeded. He proceeded to win 5, 6, 7 games.
Right. I
A
remember. Yeah.
quarterback that came in there with I mean, he didn't have no experience. Rookie quarterback coming in there with on an impromptu playing, and then he flourished from there. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
it can happen. It can happen that way. It can sometimes it can't. So
Yeah.
but as far as what's the other rookie man that was
From
doing
the
well?
Cardinals. The Cardinals.
Yeah, yeah. What's
Yeah.
the name again? Man, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Kyler Murray. Yeah.
What do you think about him? His performance.
Um. I think it was okay. I mean, what I liked. I'll tell you some. What I liked about it was that he seemed to be in command. But of course, they're using the same offense that he played with in college.
Correct. Correct.
So that makes, I mean, the learning curve a lot easier.
Right.
But it's going to be interesting to see how that offense is defensed. Is defended. I mean, in the NFL this year. So we'll see when. I mean, like I said, when we did our predictions, I think we both agreed that he's going to have some ups and downs this year. That the
Yeah.
Cardinals are not going to be one of the better teams, I don't think, and um, he's going to have his ups and downs. But I think he's going to do. He's going to have some promising. He's going to show some promising potential
Right.
that they did make the right pick, and I think he's ready for it. He's ready for it, but he's gonna have to go through take his lumps and bumps, this year
Hmm.
as a rookie. Learn from some mistakes. He's gonna have some bad games. He's gonna have some good games. But that's how it should be. You know, that's how it should be.
Yeah. That's
You
true.
know, and I mean, I think he played decent. He had poise. He looked like he was in command. He looked like the leader, and I think that's the role he takes. And um, I think the good thing is he's got even the veterans on that team, like Fitz. They all like him.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that's a good
Likes.
sign. Yeah, and he's commanding the huddle, and that's what you need to do, and he's doing that. But as far as play, he wasn't stretching the field or anything. He
Nah, he
was
was.
throwing, yeah, he was throwing little short passes, screen passes, very simple, managing the game. So we still have a lot more to see from him. A lot more to see from him. Unlike Daniel Jones, who was really stretching the field. I mean,
Yeah.
he made some big league throws in that game against the
He
Jets.
did. He did.
You
He
know,
did. He did. He
so
did.
talk about throwing in windows. He was throwing in windows against the Jets. But yeah, Murray. I mean, he looked the part, but there's a lot more to see from him. I think, and the same thing for Haskins. Even though Haskins had a bad game, he could come back the next game and
Yeah.
totally turn it around as well. So because he does have a strong arm, but we've talked about that strong arm thing too before.
Oh yeah.
So
Remember I told you.
yeah,
Personally, Russ, to me, when listen, when if I'm listening to an analyst or anybody who so-called says they know about football, and the first thing that comes out of the person's mouth is, "All right, well, he has a strong arm," and then they move on to something like he has a strong arm and he's mobile. When I hear that, I put up a red flag, Russ, because
right, right. Me too.
you know when somebody says strong arm, it's a straight up red flag to me. You know what
Right,
I mean? They don't, and then when they keep talking, they don't proceed to talk about the intangibles, but they talk,
right,
oh yeah, strong arm, a strong arm, a strong arm. What are his intangibles? They don't talk about that. You know
right,
what I'm saying? So you know that whole strong arm shit. You know how I feel about it. I mean,
right.
Jamarcus Russell was the last example of somebody who had a
Yes.
rocket arm and couldn't. I mean,
Can't play,
he's
but
not
he
even
can't play, but he couldn't play quarterback.
couldn't right. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know how to word it, but yeah, he couldn't play quarterback. So strong arm gets you nowhere. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It doesn't. An accurate arm and throwing it with anticipation. That's what gets you. That's to me. To me, that's what defines a quarterback.
Right.
Accuracy, anticipation, smarts. That's what
Exactly.
quarterback.
Exactly.
So yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that. I mean, let's. What about some other positions that you saw?
Um, I think you and I talked about it earlier. Devin Bush
Yes.
from the
Yes.
Pittsburgh Steelers looked very
Yeah.
athletic, looked very, comfortable in that linebacker position. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he definitely made your pick look legit. you know,
Yeah,
for he
he
definitely he
looks very,
definitely backed up your pick. Your pick.
yeah, he looked very comfortable. Now I haven't seen your Devin yet. I didn't get a chance to see him play. Did you?
He played in that game. He only had one tackle.
Okay.
Yeah, he played in that same because it wasn't. It was the Bucks and Steelers, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He played in that game, but he only had a tackle, like I said. So I'm gonna watch. I want to watch even more of him and see what happens the next game with
Right.
him. But in that game, though, Jameis Winston,
Yeah, Jameis
he
looked
he
pretty.
he he backed up my picks.
Yeah, he did. He did. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. James, James was, hey Russ, James was on the good side of your picks this time.
Yes, 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 he was. He was.
Was on the good side of your pick.
I see what you did there. That was good.
So
That was a good one right there. That's good. yeah, yeah. I mean, he looked
nah,
good,
he
and
did. Honestly, all jokes aside, the boy,
and I and I like
he
what I'm
looked.
hearing
Mhm.
from others, what they're saying about him in camp, and
Yeah,
he I like what I
he looked,
see. So
I was impressed. I was. He looked very sure of himself. You know what I'm saying? He looked very
yes,
poised. He looked confident. You know what I mean? Just
yes,
it,
yes,
uh, it was very
yeah,
encouraging for Jameis Winston's sake. You know,
yeah, yeah.
very encouraging for him. You know, uh, you know who else looked good? What's the boy name from Pittsburgh? The offensive guy. What's the name? The receiver that's replacing Antonio Brown. James
Oh
Washington.
yeah, yeah, yeah. James Washington. Yeah,
I like what I'm seeing from him so far.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I like what I'm seeing from him. So yeah, I mean, he's not Antonio. I'm
I,
not.
I I was about to say
Pretty
the same
close.
thing. He's not Antonio Brown, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not close. He's not close to Antonio, but there is some encouraging signs,
Absolutely,
on his end. You know,
absolutely.
Russ, I'm telling you, dog, Pittsburgh will be fine, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Well, I don't know,
Pittsburgh
man.
fine. I know you picked to finish last in the division.
the
I-
the
Yo,
Bengals are winning that division.
I listen, man. I know that's your pick, but it's so hard for me to keep a straight face when you say
and
that.
I didn't have my liquor bottle in the trash either that night.
Well, all right. You know what? You're right. Oh, if you didn't have a liquor bottle, did you have like any prescription next to you
prescription prescription medications. Nah,
when you
man,
made
we'll
that pick?
see.
You
The
just had any
bag, the
prescription,
bag, the Bengals are gonna do
Adderall
it,
or any
man. nah,
Xanax?
the Bengals are gonna do it, man. They're gonna win that division. You'll see.
Wow. Woo. Oh man, that's amazing. Well, the rookies shine this weekend, man. What's the guy from the rookie? I forgot his name. Josh. Yeah, Josh Allen. I the
Yes,
man from where do you go, Russ? Do you know?
Josh Allen.
I forgot. I
Yeah, I
told
don't. Yeah, I draw a blank on that one.
you. Yeah, Josh Allen went to. I want to. Was it? It wasn't the Jets, was it? Nah,
No, no, he didn't go to the Jets.
'cause I know he went fairly early.
Yeah,
You know.
trying to think.
Wow.
What were some of the early teams that drafted?
Yeah, I mean, we had the Dolphins. Um,
He didn't go to the Dolphins.
you didn't go to the Dolphins. He goes, oh. Well, I mean, either way, I mean, I like him. I haven't heard anything from him or seen anything from him yet, but I really like him. What do you, Russ? Speaking about the Redskins,
You know what?
what
He went to the Jags.
the Jags? That's right. Okay,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was the Jags.
okay, all right. Oh, okay, you went to the Jags. Yeah, I didn't. I haven't seen him play yet.
And he actually played well.
He did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I liked him. I liked him when he was in college. I really liked him. He's he reminds me of Javon Curse. You know what I'm saying? He's lean.
That's big accolades right there.
Yeah, man. I know. It's he's got that size, like the Javon Curse size, that lean.
That length, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That length. You know what I mean? Exactly. So, but yeah, man. I mean, I love Josh Allen. Um, the other kid from that got drafted. I wanted to ask you about what do you think about Montez Sweat? The Redskins drafted him. I think the first they drafted him because I believe they had one or two picks. I think, and
In the first round they did?
yeah. Montez Sweat. He was drafted in the first round. You know, and I don't. I hear good things about him from coming out of Ashburn.
Yeah.
That's silly, but
I
I
didn't
mean,
I'm trying to think if I saw what he was doing in that game, you know.
yeah, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. He didn't do much. He
Yeah,
didn't.
and I
That,
didn't see him doing too much, but
right, right, right. So, but yeah, I mean, I was wondering about him because he was very highly touted coming out of college. I mean, a lot of people were had him
yeah, he
real.
ran he ran a fast 40.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
did.
he's
He
quick.
ran the fastest
He's
40
quick.
ever for a defensive end,
Yeah. Yeah.
440. So yeah, I mean that was but again, it's the Redskins, so we already know how.
Right. And
Or
and just because you're fast doesn't mean,
oh yeah, that doesn't mean that that
that
being fast is the equivalent of somebody having a strong
a
arm.
strong arm. Exactly.
You
It
know,
is. Yeah, he's still gonna have to be able to play, play defensive end
right,
or,
right.
or outside linebacker. He's
And you
one
know
of
what?
those hybrid in that 3-4
That
defense.
3 4, and you know what? People gets this thing. They get it misconstrued. When you're all right, when you're running a 40, you're running straight ahead, straight line.
Yes, on a
Look,
track,
they
on
don't
a
play
track.
football on the track on the track.
Right,
Okay, they play football on a gridiron. They play football man to man, one mano y mano.
right,
You got to beat your man that's in front of you, and
right.
nobody's standing there running straight line 40. I'm sorry, that's just and
Yeah.
nobody and in relation to the strong arm thing, nobody's sitting back there and throwing 80-yard bombs every
No,
snap.
no.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, they say the average football play is like 3 seconds.
yeah,
It averages like 3 seconds. So I mean, I need as when I coach, I needed my kids to have the endurance to run for how fast can you get from in 5 yards? How fast are you in 10 yards? That's
right.
more important in football. Like how fast can you get from A to B?
A to B, right.
It's not track speed. I need you to be fast in those short and to be able to change direction. Like
Yeah, and
how fast can you change direction and
change
get
direction.
back?
Right.
And get 5 yards the other way.
And,
That's what's more important.
and Russ, that's why I told my son Marcus, I tell him, so look, if you got short area quickness is more important than just straight ahead straight line speed
In
in
football,
football.
it is. Yeah, big time.
It's more important than that because if because you're not running 100-yard dash here or 40-yard dash. Short area quickness is what separates great defenders from average defenders. Really, I mean,
Exactly.
guys
And
like we just
offense too.
yeah, exactly. Like we just mentioned, Javon Kurtz. Javon Kurtz's first two steps was unbelievably fast.
Unbelievably fast. Yeah.
He gets around that corner, it's a wrap. Once he gets
Right.
the first two steps, you're done.
Right.
That's called short area quickness. The how quick he can get out of his break to get around that corner. That's what
Right.
matters.
Right.
Not running 40 yards straight down the field.
Exactly.
So
I mean, we you think about a guy like Jason Witten.
yeah. Oh
Guy's
my God.
not the fastest guy, but
Not at all. Not at all.
how does he beat these guys that are way faster than him? He dusts them, like he burns them, and I don't mean dusts them like on a straight line. I mean he breaks their ankles to get open, like they
Right.
can't cover him.
Body
Guys who are
position.
corners who
Yeah.
are
Uh,
smaller and faster, more athletic, and can't cover him.
exactly. Body position. I mean,
Yes,
route running.
route running. Yes,
Angles. Those
right.
things matter, man. Uh, you know,
Yes.
that's why Jason, like you say, Jason Witten. I mean, Jason Witten, and look, Russ, watch him still be burning people when the
Oh
season
yeah.
starts.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's
I've
a
watched some of their training camp. He's burning a lot of those guys in training camp already. And I'm like, wow, it kills me. And I love Jason Witten, but I've always said like he has like two left feet. You know what I mean? And it's but he beats these. He gets open. I mean, it's a definite. He gets open.
right. And going back to what was the receiver, the all time great receiver we were talking about, Chris Carter and Michael Irvin. Those guys wasn't fast. Jerry Rice
No,
wasn't.
Jerry Rice wasn't a speedster either.
No,
You
he
know,
wasn't. Michael Irvin wasn't.
not
Chris
at
Carter.
all. Not
But
at
those
all.
were open. They know how to get open.
Talk
They
about
knew how
route
to get-
running. I mean,
you know,
those three right there, just route running. I mean, alone.
right? Route running and just executing your route to like precision route running and then great
Exactly.
hand. You know,
Exactly.
it wasn't about speed and oh my God, he ran a 4.2.
Right.
Man, Russ, how many times in the NFL, when come draft time comes around and you got guys running, oh my God, he runs a 4.2 and this and that.
And then you
That
never hear from him again.
you never hear from him again. Russ, John Ross, do you remember? Yeah, he's right. John Ross from University of Washington. He's
Yes.
the fastest 40 runner ever. Remember
Right.
he ran a 4.22 or 4.23 or something like that. He
Right.
beat Chris Johnson's record. Where's John Wall right now?
I don't
I mean,
know.
John Ross. I'm sorry, not John Wall. John Ross. You
They're probably together.
might be with John Wall. He might be with John Wall.
Right. That's where he is.
But you know what I mean? You remember him,
Yeah.
right? From
Yeah.
Washington,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
blazing fast.
Did
In
nothing in
in
the NFL. Yeah.
he's nothing. It
Right.
just unbelievable. Just goes to show, man. Speed, speed is good. It's good to have speed, but
Yeah,
speed is
but
not
it has to correlate. It has to. There's some
right.
people that can translate
Exactly.
that
Has
track
to
speed.
translate.
When
Exactly.
you think about Bob Hayes,
Right. Right.
Randy Moss, ridiculous
Right.
speed, but Randy Moss had some long legs and speed, so it was like a double effect with
Right.
Moss. His speed. There's guys that have translated Daryl Green. You know,
Exactly.
guys like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Yep.
guys. Those guys did it, but but those guys were also great at what they did. Like Daryl Green could play corner, Deion could play corner. You know what I mean? Randy Moss was a great receiver. So it's like those guys could do things that they were supposed to do for their position, not just run fast.
Right.
Bob
Right.
Hayes. Bob Hayes was burning guys, but he was also catching passes.
Gotcha.
You know what I
You're
mean?
right. Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? He was running great routes and burning guys and catching the ball. There's a difference.
Yep.
So
Exactly, man. I mean, so I mean, it's all a matter of in the NFL and college. It's a matter of to me quickness rather than speed. I mean, speed is
yes,
good, but you need quickness more than you need speed. Quickness
right.
is more important than speed. So I try
Yes,
to tell the young kids that all the time, man. My
that's
son,
that's facts.
right, most definitely. So you know, that's how I feel about that, man.
Yeah.
Anybody else caught your eye during preseason?
Um, Not really. Of the games that I saw, we just talked about that I mentioned. But I didn't really see anybody else that jumped out at me. too
Right.
much other than what we've already talked about. And I'm sure, don't get me wrong, there's probably other guys that that did really well, but from the games I saw, those are the ones that we already mentioned and talked about. Those are the guys that kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Same here. But yeah, man, I guess it just remains to be seen. We'll see. It's a wait and see type of thing with these young guys, man. See,
Right.
how they perform as time goes on, as preseason games keep getting played, and as the regular season rolls around. Um,
How
we'll
they
see.
progress. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how they develop, man. Some and honestly, Russ, some of them develop a lot slower than others. You
True.
know, and some of them don't even develop at all, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know that remains to be seen. But listen, man, definitely the next podcast we do, Russ, we've got to we got to talk about boxing. We have
You
to.
want to do boxing next? Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to do boxing next. I want to do boxing.
Okay. Okay.
Let's do boxing tomorrow, man. Let's do
Okay.
boxing.
Yeah. Let's do boxing next. That'll be good. That'll be good because there's some we've had. There's a lot to talk about in boxing now. I
Yeah, there
mean,
is.
the heavyweight division is back.
Yes,
There's guys
exactly.
to talk about there again.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua is getting a rematch
With
with that
Ruiz.
kid again. So
Yeah, John Ruiz. Yeah.
break that down. By the way, that was shocking, but
Yeah.
when he lost, that was like, whoa,
Yeah.
what world? But
Yeah, you got to use your angles, man. You can't stand in front of that guy and
right,
try to
right,
trade it. You got to do more than that. You
right,
know.
yeah. So, but yeah, man. So we'll get it. We'll knock that one out tomorrow too, man. Let's make that. Let's make that most of it. Let's make most of it boxing.
Okay, we'll do
Yeah.
that. We'll do that.
We'll go in different weight divisions and everything and break those things down too.
Yes, 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 yes. That'll be good. I look forward to that. I
Yeah,
look forward to that.
no doubt, my brother. So that we'll go ahead and wind this show down, man.
Yeah,
Audience, we appreciate y'all for keeping your ears open and keep listening. Uh,
absolutely.
we got to turn in now. Last night was a very a, a long, arduous night. So
Right.
we talk about America's team. So
Right.
you
I
know,
can't wait to hear some of the
soft tip
people that
that.
you know what, Will. I can't wait to hear some of the people chiming in
Oh yeah,
to see what they because there's gonna be people that's gonna take what you were saying and take your argument side,
right.
and there's gonna be others that take what I was saying. So
Yeah, right.
that you never know how people are gonna go. It's
That's
always
true.
interesting to see.
But as we all know, Russ, there's three sides to a story. There's your side, my side, and the actual truth. So that
I see it as two sides, but
oh, okay. Well, I mean, I say it as one side, my side. So we'll just leave that as it be. All right.
right, right. We'll leave it there.
All right, dog. So we'll catch up tomorrow and get back on this boxing thing tomorrow, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Russ.
All right,
Peace out.
all right. Till tomorrow.
Yeah.